Okay, today we're diving into something from the internet that is, well, it's bizarre, it's darkly funny, and it says way more than you'd think at first glance. It's a viral comedy skit from Cambodia, and the whole thing is about one very, very popular tree. So let's break down how a skit about a suicide spot and a surprisingly pushy hot dog sponsor became a viral hit.
And this line right here, this is the heart of it. This is the exasperated cry that kicks the whole thing off. But here's the thing, that's not coming from a person. Nope, that's the ancient guardian spirit who lives in the tree. And, as you can probably tell, he is just so over it.
So here's the deal. The spirit's nice, peaceful, sacred tree has somehow turned into this morbid tourist attraction. It's the new go-to spot for people wanting to end it all, and for him, it's a massive, massive inconvenience. And right away, that sets the stage for this surreal clash between, the supernatural and the frustratingly ordinary.
The spirit's main problem isn't just the idea of it all. It's the constant, non-stop stream of visitors. One after another, people just keep showing up with their supposedly unbearable problems, ready to use his branches. Starting with this first guy. All right, so first up, we have a young man, and his reason for being there, it perfectly captures the satirical tone of this whole thing. See, his mother bought him a brand new car, but he didn't want a car. He wanted a wife. And that disappointment was apparently enough to send him straight to the famous suicide tree. The spirit, as you can imagine, is completely unimpressed. Next, a couple arrives. You think they'd be united in this tragic decision, but nope. They immediately get stuck on the details. They start bickering. You go first. No, you go first. One of them even says, if you die, who will see me die? It's like a normal petty relationship squabble, but in the most life or death situation imaginable. Then, there's a guy who wants to die to get out of paying his bank loans. Now, this one feels a bit more grounded in a real-world problem. But in the world of the skit, he's just another person in line, another headache for a tree spirit who really just wants everyone to go find a different tree. The guy's so down on his luck, he even complains that just dying is also a failure. So you're watching this parade of absurd characters, and you think you figured out the joke, right? You get the rhythm. But just when the dark comedy is hitting its stride, the video takes a hard left turn into a commercial.
I'm not kidding. Right in the middle of all this existential angst and despair, the skit just slams on the brakes for a full-on, totally serious product placement. The tonal whiplash is immediate. It's bizarre, and it is absolutely hilarious.
And they are so committed to the ad. We get all the details. Lucky hot dogs are Japan quality. They're described as short, fragrant, and big, which is an interesting combination. They've got over 85% meat content, come in corn and hot pot flavors, and hey, you can eat them as a snack or put them in your soup. It's a completely straight-faced commercial dropped into the most inappropriate setting you could possibly dream up.
And the final touch, the price. A single hot dog is just 500 real, which is about 12 cents in the US. Okay, commercial break over. And just like that, we are thrown right back into the chaos at the tree.
And the skit doesn't just stop with the people trying to use the tree. Oh no. It zooms out to show us the entire bizarre ecosystem that's popped up around this morbid landmark. It's become its own little hub of commerce and drama.
And the whole scene just gets more and more chaotic. A food vendor shows up to sell porridge to the onlookers, literally saying business is great whenever someone dies. Then a debt collector from the bank arrives looking for the guy from earlier. The first young man's girlfriend shows up, but only to put on this loud, over-the-top dramatic mourning scene for everybody. And finally, the police get there, take one look, and basically tell the family, yeah, that's your problem to deal with. Everyone's just going about their day. So what is it that makes this chaotic, tonally jarring skit so weirdly compelling and funny? It might seem totally random, but there's actually a pretty clear formula at work here, and it's one you see a lot in modern internet humor. Here's how it breaks down. First, you start with a really dark premise, a suicide hotspot. Step 2, you fill it with characters who react in these completely mundane, selfish, or just everyday ways, from the annoyed spirit to the bickering couple. Third, you throw in that bizarre out-of-nowhere twist, in this case, the hot dog commercial. And finally, you build out the world to show how this awful thing has just been normalized into a weird little microeconomy. So you see, it's not just a random collection of jokes. When you put all those pieces together, the skit becomes this really sharp piece of satire. It's making a comment on how real desperation can look trivial to outsiders, how commercialism can and will invade literally any part of our lives, and how easily we all get desensitized to tragedy.
This kind of humor really hits home because it feels kind of true to the chaos of modern life, right? It's a coping mechanism for a world where a genuine crisis and a relentless ad can occupy the exact same space. And that really leaves us with a bigger question. A skit like this, it comes from a very specific place, but then it goes viral everywhere, and it acts like this strange mirror. It reflects a unique sense of humor, sure, but also maybe some of the anxieties we all share about things like debt, social pressure, and just modern life itself. It really makes you wonder, what do the strangest corners of internet comedy reveal about all of us?